Our digital lives feel weightless, but every click message photo relies on a massive physical infrastructure. Behind every action is a network of data centers, vast warehouses filled with servers running 24/7. These data centers are the true heart of the internet, storing every email, photo, and video. Far from being magical clouds, they're industrial complexes consuming enormous resources. Each email or file you keep occupies real space on a server that must stay powered and cooled at all times. Globally, thousands of these centers are expanding rapidly to meet our growing demand for data. They're the factories of the digital age, with a significant environmental footprint. The world behind our screens is far from invisible. It's a resource-hungry machine we rarely see. Deleting an email seems trivial, but it's more than digital housekeeping. Every stored email adds to the demand on data centers, which require constant energy to operate and cool. The more digital clutter we keep, the more resources are consumed. This cycle links your inbox directly to global energy use. The true cost of digital clutter is environmental, not just organizational. Cleaning your inbox is a small act with real-world impact. Our everyday digital habits shape the planet's future. Your emails are connected to water in ways you might not expect. Data centers need electricity, and most electricity comes from power plants that use vast amounts of water for cooling. Every stored email increases the demand for power, which in turn draws more water from rivers, lakes, reservoirs. The chain is direct. More emails, more servers, more electricity, more water used. This hidden water footprint is rarely considered, but it's real. Letting digital clutter pile up means more natural resources are consumed. Understanding this journey reveals the power we have to make a difference. Small digital choices ripple out to the world's most precious resources. Your emails don't live in your device. They're stored in massive data centers. These centers are like libraries, but filled with servers instead of books. Every email, even forgotten ones, takes up space and requires energy to stay accessible. Data centers run non-stop, consuming electricity to keep servers and cooling systems operating. The more emails we keep, the more storage and energy are needed. Billions of emails are sent daily, fueling the growth of these digital warehouses. Each new server adds to global energy demand. Our digital footprint is expanding with real consequences for the planet. Every email has an energy cost, not in the message itself, but in the system that stores and delivers it. Sending and storing emails requires electricity for servers, for networks, and especially cooling systems. Cooling can use as much energy as the servers themselves. Billions of emails create a massive, ongoing energy demand. Even a single email with an attachment can have a measurable carbon footprint. Trillions of stored emails mean data centers now rival entire countries in electricity use. This invisible cost is part of our daily digital routine. Your inbox is a small piece of a global puzzle, and it's one you can help solve. It is easy to dismiss the impact of a single email. The energy required to store one extra email is incredibly small, but the power of the digital world lies in its immense scale. It is a world built on the sum of countless tiny parts, where individual actions are magnified millions of times over. Think of it like traffic on a busy road. Your email inbox and everyone else's works in a similar way. When millions of users store thousands of gigabytes of unneeded data, the data centers become congested. Small, seemingly harmless actions accumulate to create a significant collective consequence. By consciously managing your digital clutter, you are taking part in a collective action. The sum of our small individual parts can truly add up to create a powerful and positive change for our planet. We have established that our digital lives are powered by a constant and enormous supply of electricity. The data centers that store our emails are some of the most energy-intensive facilities on the planet. But where does this electricity come from? And what is its hidden cost? To find the answer, we must journey away from the clean, air-conditioned halls of the data centers and visit the titans of industry that quench our thirst for power, the power plants. These are the engines of our modern world, converting raw materials into electrical energy. It flows silently into our homes, into businesses, and into our digital infrastructure. The majority of the world's electricity is generated through creating immense heat. Fossil fuel plants burning coal, fossil fuel plants burning natural gas, nuclear plants harnessing atomic fission. That heat boils water into high-pressure steam. The steam is channeled to spin massive turbine blades. Much like wind turns the sails of a windmill, the spinning turbines drive generators. Generators feed electricity onto high-voltage power lines. but this engineering depends on a vital natural resource. Generating electricity also creates tremendous waste heat. That heat must be managed to prevent overheating. Plants need a constant, massive supply of water for cooling. Water is drawn from nearby rivers. Water is drawn from lakes. Water is drawn from the ocean. The water absorbs excess heat and is often returned to its source warmer, or evaporated away in towering cooling towers. This reliance on water is profound. A large plant can draw and circulate billions of liters of water every day. That can rival the daily water use of a major city. Thermoelectric cooling is one of the largest industrial uses of water. So the electricity that powers our screens and stores our memories is not generated in a vacuum. It is intertwined with the planet's water cycles. The hum of servers in a data center is echoed by the flow of water through a power plant, a hidden thirst underpinning our insatiable demand for energy. Power generation uses a lot of water. The water footprint of electricity measures the fresh water used to produce energy. The amount varies, but it's surprisingly large. 1 kilowatt hour, enough to run a refrigerator for a few hours, requires 2 to 3 liters of water. This water is withdrawn and then evaporated. Global electricity demand is measured in terawatt hours. This strains freshwater ecosystems, competing with agriculture and drinking water. This is the energy-water nexus. We need water for energy and energy for clean water. Our digital lives impact the health of our planet's water systems. Let's trace the path from power plant to your computer screen. Data centers require constant electricity to power servers and keep them cool. This creates a continuous power draw. Electricity flowing to the data center carries a hidden water footprint. Data centers are indirect consumers of vast quantities of water. The environmental cost is not immediately visible, but the link is undeniable. The hidden cost of our digital lives is measured in carbon emissions and liters of water. Managing our data is about resource conservation. It all begins with a simple, conscious choice. You open your inbox not just to read new messages, but to address the old ones. You scroll past the first page into the digital archives. Emails from months or even years ago lie dormant. Forgotten newsletters, expired offers, conversations that have long since concluded. With a few clicks, you select them, then you press the delete button. In that moment, a small action is taken. It feels insignificant, like sweeping a few specks of dust from a floor, but you've set the first domino in motion, a chain reaction that extends far beyond your screen. This act of deletion is the first step in unwinding digital accumulation. For every email you remove, you release a tiny parcel of data from its digital prison. You're telling the global system of servers this information is no longer needed. It no longer needs to be stored, indexed, backed up, kept ready for instant retrieval. The data might linger in a trash folder or on backup tapes briefly, but your delete is a clear signal, a command to the digital warehouse to lighten its load and free up physical hard drive space. Think of the sheer volume of forgotten data. Across the world, there are trillions of emails sitting in inboxes. Many of us are digital hoarders without realizing it. Accounts fill with gigabytes of attachments and messages that serve no purpose. Each email represents a continuous, tiny demand. By deleting them, you perform crucial digital housekeeping. You create a cleaner inbox and reduce the total data humanity asks machines to store. This first step is critical because it's within your control. You don't need to be a scientist or engineer to make a difference. Be a mindful user of technology. Pressing delete is a small assertion of power. It's recognition that digital actions have real-world consequences. It begins a journey connecting your device to the planet's resources. This click is the starting pistol for a race to conserve, the first domino toward saving energy and water. Once you delete emails, the signal travels to the data center. Here, servers process your request, marking the old data space as available. When enough users do this, the overall volume of stored data decreases. This means the servers don't have to work as hard, and their hard drives have more free space. The collective burden on the digital warehouse starts to ease. Data center operators can consolidate data onto fewer servers, switching off the ones that are no longer needed. This lessens their overall environmental footprint. With fewer active servers, the total amount of heat generated decreases. The cooling systems don't have to work as hard. So, deleting an email reduces the data, server, and cooling load. energy resources. Here we arrive at the final link in our chain reaction. As power plants generate less electricity, they also require less water for cooling. The result is simple: water is saved. This journey began with a single click. Deleting an email reduces data storage, which reduces electricity demand and, crucially, uses less water. It is the power of collective action transforming a small habit into a meaningful global impact. Every piece of digital junk you clear out is a step towards reducing the strain on our planet's finite water supplies. It's tough to understand how our actions make a difference to global problems. Let's calculate the impact of cleaning up your digital life. Imagine deleting 10,000 old emails. Those emails take up about 1 gigabyte of storage space. Storing that gigabyte requires about 5 kilowatt hours of electricity per year. Generating electricity uses water. For every kilowatt hour, 2 to 3 liters of water are consumed. Deleting those emails saves 10 to 15 liters of water every year. This is the tangible result of your action. This is the power of one. It's a positive impact for our planet. The savings from just one person. Carbon emissions. We don't need to wait for complex solutions. We can start a positive chain reaction right now. The lesson from our journey into the inbox goes far beyond just deleting old emails. It encourages us to adopt a new mindset: digital mindfulness. Think critically about online habits and hidden environmental costs. Cleaning your inbox is just the beginning. The same principles apply across your digital footprint. Duplicate photos in the cloud, old documents in file sharing services, streaming videos at unnecessarily high resolution. Become conscious creators and consumers of data. Before sending a huge attachment, consider a smaller file or a link. Before uploading dozens of similar photos, choose the best ones. Consider unsubscribing from newsletters you never read. Each choice reduces the digital weight on the planet's resources. Digital space is finite with real physical cost. Embrace a more sustainable relationship with technology. Use digital tools thoughtfully, not give them up. Connect, share, and create, with awareness of the infrastructure. Passive users become active, responsible digital citizens. Online behavior is environmental behavior, like recycling or transit choices. This knowledge empowers us to help the planet. Remember, we remain connected to energy systems and water cycles. Be mindful of the data you create, store, and share. Ask, do I really need to keep this? Before the next email. We began with a simple question: what happens when you delete an email? We discovered a hidden chain reaction between our digital habits and the health of our planet. Every email has a small but real weight, measured in the energy and water needed to store it. Deleting an unnecessary email is an act of conservation. It eases the burden on servers, reduces energy demand, and saves water. One simple click echoes all the way to a stream. The choice to delete is a small vote for efficiency. The echo of that simple click contributes to a healthier, more sustainable world. Let us think of the digital world as a vast shared garden. For years we have planted in it with abandon, sowing countless seeds of data without considering how it would be tended. We have allowed weeds to grow. The spam, the old newsletters, the forgotten files. They have slowly begun to drain the resources that nourish the entire ecosystem. This garden requires careful cultivation. It needs tending not just by the engineers who build infrastructure, but by all of us who use it every single day. We are all its gardeners. Treat our digital spaces with the same care we give a physical garden. Start by pulling the weeds. Unsubscribe from lists you no longer read. Prevent future clutter from being planted. Be thoughtful about the messages you send. Be thoughtful about the attachments you send. Choose to plant a small seed instead of a giant tree when possible. Regularly tidy your cloud storage. Clean out your photo libraries. Organize your document folders. Use only the space you truly need. This keeps our shared garden healthy and sustainable. This responsibility enhances the wonder of the digital world. A well-tended garden is more beautiful, more efficient, and more enjoyable for everyone. By becoming mindful digital gardeners, we ensure tools of connection, creativity, knowledge can flourish for generations without placing an unsustainable burden on our planet. Shift from passive consumers to active custodians. We all have a role in upkeep, our collective challenge and shared opportunity. The digital realm connects us all, and so does responsibility for its impact. Work together, tend our small patches, cultivate a global digital environment that is leaner, cleaner, lighter on the earth. Technology working in harmony with nature, powered by electricity and conscious collective effort. Our digital garden can be abundant, only if we tend it with wisdom and care. In the end, this story is one of empowerment. The connection between our inbox and our planet's water supply shows how our choices impact the natural world. It places a lever for positive change directly into our own hands. We can influence technology's impact. These are questions of environmental responsibility. Let us turn individual action into a collective movement. It resides in the billions of small decisions we all make every day. We are demonstrating that technology and nature do not have to be in conflict. We have the power to ensure that our digital world helps to sustain our planet.